What's up, guys? What's going on? Another day in paradise. Of course, I got here another mulatto crime report. So let me just get right into it. And shout out to Storm. Shout out to Storm. She is the one who sent this to me. You guys can go ahead and send me an email with any news stories or articles or anything or videos, whatever that you want me to cover. Just go ahead and shoot me an email and I'll check it out. And yeah, so shout out to Storm because she messaged me, emailed me this story that I want to briefly talk about. And it involves a biracial girl you can see here, or MGM, I get whatever, Mulatto, because you can see her mom right next to her, right? So, and then of course, and then her mom, which is the white lady here. So you have a whole generation here of people, but this story here we're going to cover, it's of an incident that occurred at one of the schools that this baby girl was at. And one of the, I guess, daycare teachers or kindergarten teachers, something like that, was neglecting and also accused of some nasty things. So let's get into the story, okay?
I was just, how could somebody do this?
Tonight, and only on WRAL, we hear from the mother of an Edgecombe County kindergartner who deputies say was assaulted. So
it's a kindergartner, right? And you can see this is a teacher. They have the picture here. It doesn't look like a mugshot or anything, but this is a teacher who's accused of assaulting the baby girl that you just saw.
By her teacher at school. Diana Woods is out on bond now on a misdemeanor assault on a student charge.
She resigned from her position at Princeville Elementary School. And tonight, Grace Holland talks to the child's family about what surveillance video showed of the incident and an interview you'll only see on WRAL.
The principal of Princeville Elementary School told Idisha Chance about an incident between her child and a teacher in the cafeteria on May 19th. School officials showed her video of it.
So I just wanted to, clarify, this is recent news as well. You saw May 19th. So that was not too long ago, basically a month ago. So this is new news, essentially.
But they would not let her have a copy. She told us what she saw.
The teacher was in her face. She was yelling at her so bad she made her drop her sandwich. She dropped her sandwich, picked it up, and tried to put it back in her mouth and try to eat it. She was yelling, tugging at her, trying to make her go throw it away. And in the middle of her trying to throw it away, she didn't know which way to go. Yeah, she was going back and forth. She finally threw it away, came back to the table, and she just...
And I love the fact that you see here that the mom, the parent, and the grandparent, they're advocating for their child. Beautiful to see, beautiful to witness, especially even at this early age, advocating for their family. This is beautiful. And this is what you have to do.
Table, and she just starts breaking down crying.
The school would not provide the video to WRAL either, citing the ongoing investigation. Chance's mother joined us, along with her daughter, the student at the center of this, Isabel Chance. Her mother wanted her girl to be a part of the conversation.
How did you feel when that happened with your teacher? Do you remember it?
You want to draw it? Okay, put it, let her see it. That's what she drew.
So is that's a sad face?
Yeah.
The district initially suspended Diana Woods with pay. She was charged with a...
This is Diana Woods. They said, you just heard it, initially suspended her with pay. With pay. Interesting. Maybe there's some seniority there because there could be termination or suspension without pay. But of course, you're in a kind of monoracial society, right? And so therefore, the monoracials, they are getting suspended with pay. They're still making sure they get paid, even while they're under investigation. But it's interesting because with, if it was a mixed person, would it be with pay or would they, pending investigation, would it be no pay? Interesting. Got to take note of that. That's why I'm here.
Assault on a student Tuesday and resigned her position that day. Detective Siobhan Shaw says this is...
So she knew she was guilty. That's why she resigned. They said she resigned her position that day. Yeah, she knew she was guilty. They had surveillance footage in the cafeteria or whatnot. Yeah, bad stuff.
It's not the only assault case they've had involving a school staff member this year.
Do you have any idea why this is becoming more common, at least from your experience?
No idea, but I can say some teachers do sometimes seem a little frustrated, but no clue why or what's going on.
It leaves Chance with more questions.
I do want to understand why did she do it?
Yeah, she wants to understand why. Well, this mulatto presenting clearly mulatto. You saw her white mom, and then her mulatto presenting daughter. And you look at the suspect. You look at her. It's kind of like, oh, do you kind of want to know why? I mean, it's kind of obvious when we put two and two together, because there's this kind of imbalance where you have some folks who are monoracial who, like I said, some, gotta reiterate that for the slowpokes, who kind of feel like they have hegemony or authority over you. And if you don't do what they want, they feel like they can put hands on you. And I feel like that's the case that you saw there with that, the suspect, then of course the baby girl, the victim. Maybe the baby girl, she's a baby, kindergartner, toddler. She basically, maybe she was defiant or disobeyed or something like that. And the overworked, whatever, suspect got frustrated. But of course, if it was a white baby, maybe the monoracial person wouldn't have been so aggressive. But because it's a mulatto presenting person, therefore the monoracial person feels like they have some type of ownership and they can do what they want. This is what I'm seeing from it. I think this is what, even Storm, shout out to her. She shared this with me. I believe this is what she kind of got from this story, and it makes sense when you kind of add this up together. You're like,
Still haven't gave me the reason.
The sheriff's office says Edgecombe County Public Schools have fully supported investigations of this kind. Grace Holland, WREL News.
Okay, that's it for that one. Just wanted to highlight that. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to 1316 Progress. Appreciate you, man. I like your logo. It's dope. Keep pushing forward. Stay consistent. Keep pushing forward. I'm here to support everything you're doing. So another story here that was brought to my attention. This is recent news as well. This was brought to my attention from, let me pause real quick. Okay, yeah, brought to my attention from the Unapologetically Biracial and Discussions page over on Facebook. Like I said, they're probably my favorite mulatto content creator page within the whole blogosphere, without a doubt. And I've been here for a minute. I've analyzed, observed all these pages, all the information, their content, everything. I don't think anybody is as productive as that page. They mainly operate on Facebook, but they have, I think, TikTok as well. And it's ran by mulatto ladies. And they, in my opinion, do the best work as far as news, information, mulatto identity, pushing this information out here to the public and standing firm, being unapologetic and biracial. So definitely really love and support their page. And they shared this story on their Facebook wall the other day. And this involves a 16-year-old mulatto kid who was shot and deleted, defending someone else, standing up to a bully. So let's get into this story right here.
In grief. In a Channel 2 Action News exclusive, we are hearing from someone who knew a 16-year-old who was shot and killed. She was his mentor. Jalil Jones was gunned down on Mount Zion Road in Clayton County 1 week ago. He was protecting another boy who was being targeted. Channel 2's.
So he was defending another boy who was being targeted, and he ended up, meeting his demise. You see, and I always showcase the heroism of mulatto boys, mulatto males, mulatto men. The most heroic people, the strongest fighters throughout history are mulatto males, boys and men, period. This is another example of that, and rest in peace to this young king. He was defending the honor, standing up for someone else who was getting bullied, and he ended up meeting his demise. But he perishes and lives on as a hero, standing up for what's right. So we need to honor people like him.
Aaron Rodgers live. And Aaron, tonight there is that growing memorial, and you're right there.
And George, I want to show you this memorial. Take a look with me. You can see Jalil Jones' nickname written out in candles, but perhaps the most touching is this 16 candles right here, because that is how old he was. You can also see the teddy bears, flowers, balloons. But if I take you back to this poster, all of the signatures, it really just shows how loved he was in this community.
Lil Rob, give it up for Lil Rob.
If you know him, you called him Lil Rab.
Whether you called him that or Jalil Jones,
He was well respected. He was a 16-year-old kid. And yeah, we took a big loss here in Jonesboro.
Clayton County Police say last Friday evening, a dispute between several people escalated into gunfire, and Jones became the victim. His mentor, Lenise Wilkes, told me he was trying to stand up for a boy who was being bullied.
This was his mentor here. It was involved several people, yeah, and he stood up for somebody, and honorable thing, as I've always done as well. I've always stood up for the little guy, the guy getting bullied. I think with mulattoes, we understand that because we're outcasted, we're outgrouped, we're stigmatized. So even today, even now, as a man in my working environments, wherever I'm at, like I'm always going to stand up rather, for the person who I feel like is being kind of ostracized or othered or pushed to the side, because we know how it is, right? We know how it is. So, and that's one of our kind of, quote unquote superpowers, if you will, is our empathy for others who are kind of pushed to the sidelines in society. So we have a solid track record, even I can say me personally, individual level, but the gentleman here as well, we have a solid track record of standing up for those who are being bullied and pushed to the side and being marginalized, right? It's something we should be proud of. I always will strive for that. Again, I do have criticism when I see our politicians who want to represent us, and then they have this altruistic agenda, but they're being financed by these other special interests that have nothing to do with mulatto autonomy. I do have an issue with that. I just got to say that. But as long as we are solid in our identity, we have a sense of tribe and a sense of purpose, and we have core values that we can all align with, then, it's like, okay, yeah, help everyone else out, like make the world better, right? Stand up for people. But I think sometimes mulattoes get sidetracked. They just relinquish their own kind of identity and sovereignty and sense of self to serve other groups. I do see that a lot, with men and women, mulattoes, who their whole identity is like, free Palestine or BLM or, MAGA Trumpism or something like that. It's the extreme left or extreme right. They take on these identities and fight for other people's battles, but they're not like centered in their core kind of foundation of being mulatto. And that's kind of the thing that I try to point out, where we need to embrace the proverbial gray, as it was called by the dude, J4 Conversations. He calls it the proverbial gray, where people are trying to escape that place and that position. My goal is to maintain that position and expand it, make it so where it flourishes, this proverbial gray, this gray area. They want you to jump out of that gray and either jump left, right, black, white, etc. We need to embrace mulattoism to the full. So let me continue on with this clip here.
He was outside trying to help and protect the young boy who needed help at the time.
On Tuesday, police arrested Joshua Clinton, who's now facing several charges, including murder and aggravated assault.
So the police arrested Joshua Clinton. I believe I do have, there's another, I think, article I'm going to share with you. I believe it's, it's crazy. So it was an adult who gunned down a 16-year-old.
As far as the suspects, I just try not to get my emotions involved in that.
Because she says her emotions have already been up and down the past 7 days.
It's so still surreal as far as knowing that I can't just call and check up.
Wilkes says Jones didn't have the easiest time growing up, but he was headed down a good path.
I do know Reb just started employment. He was working towards getting his driver's permit. He was set to be starting school this August.
Before it all.
Yeah, I'm not sure school, what she was referencing there is starting school in August because he's 16. He should be in high school, right? But what they said, he got it, like got a new job and then got his driver's permit. He's doing everything like, you know, everything he should be doing. That's what I was doing when I was 16, you know. Got a worker's permit from my high school, started working when I was 16, right? Working on my driver's license or driver's permit, then the license. You know, so like that's what I'm saying. For people like me who are in this position now, I can publicly speak and share information. Like we have to honor these folks who are heroes of ours because he is a hero, make no mistake. He's standing up for the little man. He's standing up for the man or the male, the boy, whatever, who's being bullied by someone else. And these are heroes that we need to honor. So because I'm in this position now, I can speak on this. Yeah, we have to do more to honor these people, okay, who make these type of sacrifices.
Got cut short.
We just want to make sure justice is served and that he has a great home going.
An emotional time for all who knew him. So, Aaron, you're back out live with us now. The suspect here, Joshua Clinton, also facing charges unrelated, though, to the death of Jones.
The suspect, Joshua Clinton, facing charges that are unrelated to Jones. Some other kind of criminal mischief he was involved in. Crazy.
He is, George. Clayton County police say they were able to link him to another shooting that actually happened after the homicide. So he will be facing additional charges for that, according to police. But as for that homegoing she was speaking of, the family has set up a GoFundMe and all the proceeds will go to help bury Jalil Jones. George?
Yeah, they have a GoFundMe and I'll share that as well. No doubt about that. And of course, I will make a contribution to the family's GoFundMe. I will encourage you guys to do the same as I always do with these stories. And just want to check out this article as well that's connected to this story. This is from Fox 5 Atlanta. It says family friend shares emotional tribute after Clayton County teen was deleted. Let me see.
We are speaking with a close family friend of a 16.
And it was the same kind of mentor, but let's kind of play it through, okay?
16-year-old boy shot and killed in Clayton County. Jalil Jones was gunned down on Mount Zion Road. Joshua Clinton is now behind bars, charged with murder. Fox 5's Tara Jabor has the story.
I spoke to a close family friend of Jalil Jones. She says that he was a bright 16-year-old boy who still had a lot more life to live.
According to the Clayton County Police Department, on June 19th, 16-year-old Jalil Jones was shot and killed on Mount Zion Road. Lenise Wilkes is like family to Jalil. She says it's hard to accept that he is gone.
Jalil was an all-around bubbly dude. He was bright in personality, funny, can have you mad at 1 minute and laughing the next, all in one emotion.
Police say it was an ongoing dispute among several people that led to gunshots. Wilkes says Jalil had big plans for the future. She says that he was a go-getter who was looking forward to getting his driver's permit. Wilkes says his family is devastated.
Yeah, doing everything he should do. Like I was saying, like when I was his age, that was the goals. Okay, I got my job. Okay, now I can get that money and then now I can save up and get a car. Like that's the process, you know? It's unfortunate that it got cut short. It's very unfortunate. And I feel very bad about this. And I want to share this just to inform you guys, the public, and spread awareness. That's my goal here.
You know, grief looks different for everybody, but I could tell like he was loved. So right now, it's just time. It's the time to give them time to grieve.
The Clayton County Sheriff's Office and the U.S. Marshals Service arrested 16-year-old Joshua Clinton for the killing.
So it wasn't an adult. I misspoke. It was actually another teen who was his age, 16 years old, who was involved in another shooting after this homicide. That's crazy.
Investigators say Clinton is also connected to a separate shooting that took place after the homicide. Wilkes says she wants to be a part of stopping gun violence in her community. She says she wishes Jalil could have experienced more life.
He was a son. He was a brother. He was an uncle. you know, he was a lot in this community, and Jonesboro lost, they lost someone great.
And if you would like to support the family, we have more information on how you can do so at our website, Fox.
Definitely. Yeah. They have a GoFundMe link. And of course, I will share that. Let me check out the article. The article is going to kind of reiterate what we already heard in the video clip. So Jalil Jones died after a shooting in the 800 block of Mount Zion Road on June 19th. So that was like 9 days ago, guys. Detectives determined that a dispute among multiple people led to the gunfire. Okay, members of the U.S. Marshal Service and the Clayton County Sheriff's Office later arrested 16-year-old Joshua Clinton. So that is a suspect. 16 years old. Crazy. Officers took Clinton to the Clayton County Jail on charges including, this right here, and then aggravated assault, reckless conduct, cruelty to children. Jesus Christ. And he's a kid himself, 16 years old. Battery, tampering with evidence, discharging a firearm near a public roadway, possession of weapons. So yeah, he's in it's a crime-infested area, unfortunately. And what they're saying, a close friend described Jones. Yeah, so there's basically reiterating, as I said, what was in the article. It's unfortunate, very unfortunate. I just wanted to share my thoughts on that whole situation. And like I said, shout out to Unapologetically Biracial and Great Discussions for them for sharing this with us so we can kind of be better informed. And I appreciate you guys, your contributions to this whole discussion. So I have another story here I do want to share. And I'm going to share my screen right now. This is of a lady who's on the thumbnail. This is Amanda Williams. Now, this took place a couple years ago. So this is a bit of like an old kind of story, still relevant, new. I haven't talked about it. So this is an opportunity now for me to talk about it. But this was a lady who I believe owned a salon, if I'm not mistaken, Amanda Williams, I believe in Atlanta area. And she was she met her demise, unfortunately, by her partner. But this is, congruent with the Mulatto crime report. I want to share this news information with you guys. So I'm going to get into it right now and, provide some of my thoughts. So let's get into it.
And demanding justice for a local woman shot and killed inside her Warrensville Heights home. Carmen Blackwell is joining us live from the Justice Center, where they've been putting pressure on the prosecutor's office. Carmen, good morning.
Good morning, Maureen. That's right.
Just want to say Carmen looks like a mulatta herself, but that's neither here or there. Just wanted to pause and let me continue.
Amanda Williams, she was killed nearly 2 weeks ago, and now friends, family, and community members are demanding justice, calling the Justice Center here to try to get answers and call on prosecutor Michael O'Malley. Now, very little information is available to us.
The prosecutor's last name is O'Malley. It's Irish name, right? But we know with slavery, there's a lot of African Americans who have the surnames of their former masters, who are typically English or Irish. Michael O'Reilly. I just want to check and see if there's any image of the guy. Of course, his public figure, his bar exam, as a member of the bar, Michael Joseph O'Reilly. Let's see, that's somebody else. I don't want to get sidetracked. Let me stay focused here. I'm going to continue on with this.
But here's what we do know. Back on October 11th, the Warrensville Heights police, they responded to a domestic violence disturbance call at Amanda's home, where they found the 46-year-old woman shot and killed with multiple gunshot wounds. Now, a person of interest was detained at the time of the shooting and later released. Now, after weeks...
The person of interest was detained at the time of the shooting, but later released. Crazy. I don't know, like the specifics, how they can just release someone depending on the evidence. It's the justice system is something else. Interesting.
Of with no answers, the community is demanding justice for Amanda, with her church calling a press conference today at noon.
Words of the Divine Nine, the Black Church, the Word Church, mission accomplished.
This is her pastor, right, of the church she belonged to, her congregation, or her pastor of the congregation, rather.
You can stop calling Prosecutor O'Malley's office. You can stop the emails. They're being overrun. The phones are jammed.
Well, it's great that they had a community backing where they had that, because she was a member of the church. She was a business owner, so she was respected in that community, a married woman. And she and like the people like basically got on the prosecutor's office to crack down and figure out who did this crime and bring them to justice, you know. And that's it's a good thing to see that even with them, how they have that kind of communal support and they're proactive in that. I like that.
Called me. He responded.
Because the public servants, okay, these elected officials, whether it's in the emergency services personnel, all your politicians, they serve the people. Because people get it twisted like, oh, you got to speak nice and you got to mince your words and present yourself a certain way to work with the politicians. They work for us. They work for the people. It's the people who need to take the power back. You are a taxpayer. You are an American. You have civic responsibility. We elect people and put them in positions of power. We expect and require something from them, because they're kind of trying to psychologically flip it on a lot of people and make you think that, well, you have to serve them and placate to them. That's not how this works out here. No, they respond to us. They want to represent us in high office. They need to get in line. I'm always going to take that approach here, because people get it twisted like somehow these politicians are like untouchable or something, or we have to kind of placate to them. No, it's the other way around. So I love the fact that they have that community, rapport and support with their congregation there, that is the business mulatto businesswoman, where they have people who are like, let's email and call the office and make sure they do their damn job they were elected to do. District attorney, that's an elected position. So it's good.
He is aware.
Amanda Williams, she owned a very popular salon. It was called La Mode Salon in University Heights, and she is most loved by her community that she now leaves behind in her family as well. As for today's press conference, it will be held at 12 p.m. noon at the Word Church. That's in Warrensville Heights. We're told that the public is invited, and Amanda's family will also be.
Yeah, and this was, like I said, a couple years ago, I believe. I'm just kind of getting to the coverage now, as I do want to stay on top of these type of developments the best I can. And there's another clip in conjunction with this that shows the suspect actually apprehended, and let's check it out.
That during this case being duly impaneled and sworn, do find the defendant, Terrell Edwards, guilty of murder.
Almost 5 months after a popular Cleveland hairstylist was found shot.
It was 5 months after. So like, as I said, remember, they said initially, they kind of had the suspect. I don't know if it was this guy. They didn't disclose who it was, but they released the person. I'm guessing it was him. They took him into custody, but then they released him. They were waiting for evidence. It took 5 months. I'm guessing it was this guy. You know, it's just interesting that the way the justice system works, but justice caught him, and he's got a neck tattoo, right? Very interesting. Very interesting.
Shot to death in her Warrensville Heights home. Her fiance is found guilty of the crime. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
So that was her fiance. She wasn't quite married to him yet, but they had a promising future. And yeah, he took everything from her, ruined her family, ruined her community. You know, it's very tragic.
I'm Bryn Caswell. The October death of 46-year-old Amanda Williams left her family and community heartbroken without closure. But today, a jury found Tyrell Edwards responsible. News 5's Remy Murray has been following the case from the very beginning, speaking with Amanda's family community along the way. Tonight, she reports on the verdict.
After nearly 5 months since the murder of Amanda Williams.
Again, I was trying to find like the district attorney, whatnot. I think it was O'Reilly they mentioned. But then you look at this lady here, African-American, obviously quintessential. Her last name is Murray. You have Murray, Murphy, or Green or typically black or white or Riley, Fitzgerald, Springfield. Like these names, these surnames, these are Irish, okay, Celtic. Those are surnames, Gaelic, whatever. And you have Black Americans, African Americans, you have those surnames. That's the lineage that that 2% Irish kind of lineage, but the stamp there is that the surname is interesting, right? I just wanted to point that out.
Family and friends like Pastor Ari Vernon say they feel a sense of relief after hearing Monday's verdict.
Justice did prevail in my opinion today, and for that I'm grateful.
Like I said, found guilty, he doing life, and that's that.
Walking out of the courtroom Monday afternoon, family and friends are seen hugging each other after the jury found Amanda Williams' fiance, Terrell.
That's her fiance, guys. Wow, crazy. I'm just curious how, like, even with her, rest in peace to her, why she decided to kind of get serious with a guy with a neck tattoo. It's just, it's interesting.
Edwards guilty on 5 out of the 6 counts, 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault and domestic violence. He was found not guilty of aggravated murder. Although Vernon calls this a victory, he says Williams' presence is still missed by all.
Nothing's going to bring Amanda back. Nothing fixes that.
I first started reporting on the death.
Yeah, you saw the people who showed up for her in the court appearance. She has a lot of people, a community, a lot of people support her. People are crying, they're upset. And yeah, it just sucks that her life was taken from her. Businesswoman, contributed to her community, offered a service, an honorable woman who offered an honest living. She wasn't like selling drama content, grifting on YouTube, right? She was providing an honest service to the people in her community. And, there were a lot of people in her community who probably accepted her for sure. But the one person she wanted acceptance from the most, the guy with the neck tattoo, the Pookie guy, he ended up deleting her. It's unfortunate how that happens, but this is one of many cases that do happen. And sad to say, I'll probably end up reporting on a lot more of these type of cases as they kind of come across my desk, And because, yeah, I was talking to a mulatto earlier today as well, a mutual that I met on TikTok, and she reached out to me. She kind of wanted to collab and network and talk and stuff like that. And yeah, I briefly just spoke to her and broke it down. This type of dynamic that me personally, that I see with a lot of people who are yearning, they're trying to find their kind of absent Black father in these random Black males they see running around. And, stories like this happen. This is the worst case scenario. Okay. Where the lady, unfortunately lost her life. Worst case scenario. Like if you're just a baby mama by these guys, you should consider yourself blessed that, these guys didn't go crazy on you, But yeah, this is a very common reoccurring theme that we see with people who want to be Black so bad. And in many cases, it just becomes like a death sentence, So, yeah.
Of Amanda Williams last October. Her friends told me they were devastated when Warrensville Heights police found the 46-year-old shot and killed following a domestic violence disturbance.
Just the little things that I'm gonna miss. So much love.
Police detained Edwards for questioning, and 2 days later,
it's a DV situation, right? And this is a guy, Terrell Edwards, as you see here, found guilty.
they released him when the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office found insufficient evidence.
So that was, like I said earlier, so they initially arrested him, but they released him because they didn't have sufficient evidence. So that's the key thing. But then they started developing more evidence and realized this is the guy. It's crazy work.
And 2 days later, they released him when the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office found insufficient evidence to charge him with a crime. The prosecutor's office also stated Edwards planned to claim self-defense in the shooting. That's when family, friends, and supporters of Williams band together to speak out.
I just want justice for my mom.
Something has to happen. We don't feel safe. A little more than a week later, Edwards turned himself into.
She said she doesn't feel safe, but the saddest part about it is it's her own community. Someone in the comment section here, live stream, we're live, guys, says truth, they love Pookies, you know. Because the lady just said, I can replay it. She said, wow, she's crying, you know, we don't feel safe, but those are your own men, your own males who you coddle and baby and you say they're the real alphas. Those are the guys that, you know, you're always big upping, right? Is being, you know, dub on or whatever. But like, who are you not safe from? This isn't white supremacy here. This isn't anti-black biracial men here. This is like a black person deleting a biracial lady who he had a fetish for. So like, this is what we're seeing right now, you know? So she's crying about we're not safe, but who are you not safe from? It's not the biracial men. You know, you have the one white guy here I see standing on the stage, and it's all like African-American people, probably a couple MGMs in there who think they're black, which is typical, you know. And yeah, it's interesting. Let me play this, right?
I just want justice for my mom. Something has to happen. We don't feel safe. A little more.
And it's sad, you know. She said she wants justice for her mom, so that was her daughter. And because the lady, Amanda Williams, was like 46, 47. So yeah, she probably has a child from another relationship. She met this neck tattooed Pookie guy. He's like, oh, you're black too, so let me just fit in. I want to be a part of your group. And yes, but she said she doesn't feel safe, but it's your own people, sweetheart. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not, you know, biracial men. It's not even white men. It's not white supremacy. You guys notice that, right? Like, it's literally her own people. That I'm not saying her personally. She's grieving. I sympathize with that. But people within her own community, they coddle and worship these like dark-skinned Pookie males, right? But it's these same guys who are committing crimes against them. It's a very sad kind of schism they find themselves in, you know? It's very unfortunate. It's truly unfortunate.
More than a week later, Edwards turned himself into police on Friday, November 2nd. Vernon tells me he believes their rally played a significant part.
Made people take us serious, including Prosecutor O'Malley, that the weight of that ministry could have made some real noise if justice wasn't served.
Edwards did take the stand this past Friday, telling the jury Williams lunged at him with a knife. Still, this wasn't enough for the jury to side with his self.
Damn, that's his defense there, is that the lady launched at him with a knife. You know, it's toxic. And I don't know, could it have happened? Maybe, but I mean, wow. Like, at that point, when there's some type of like assault or something going back and forth, like, you just got to call it quits and bounce. Protect your interests, protect your children, leave. So like, she had a knife, this guy I guess had a gun or whatever. It's crazy work.
Defense claim.
I would like for women to learn from this that domestic violence is real and one time is enough.
Yeah, just what I just said as well. One time is enough. Exactly what the pastor's saying. He said that he wants women to learn domestic violence is real. I agree. Yeah, one time is enough. Bounce, leave. You know, sometimes you find an issue where, yeah, like in this situation, from my observation, is that she's trying to mold herself in that community. So she's trying to battle her way in and fight her way in to kind of for full membership access, you know, and then the person who she, you know, perceived as her partner, she was engaged with, basically took her out. You know, it's very sad and unfortunate.
And you can lose your life by staying too long.
At this time, we don't have a confirmed date for Edward's sentencing, but when it is, News 5 will have the latest.
So that is basically it for that. Yeah, I think I do have something else I want to share in conjunction with that. And this is something I do want to bring up more frequently, just how media outlets do label certain certain crimes. Let me bring this up here. Okay, this is kind of I guess old news. I don't know the date. 2017. So yeah, about 9 years ago. And this article here was published in August 7, 2019. So it's been a minute, right? And it says right here, report not enough evidence in near hanging for hate crime. But when we analyze the report, I think the text is large enough. Trying to zoom it in, but I think this is sufficient. This is Concord, New Hampshire, I believe. It says almost 2 years after an 8-year-old biracial boy. I don't know if you guys can see that. Biracial boy was nearly hanged in New Hampshire. The state attorney general's office concluded Wednesday I think I'm having some issues here with my computer. Yeah. Let me, what do they call that? Some technical issues here. Let me refresh the page, because I tried to enlarge it and I did right now. Let me bring it back. Yeah. Sometimes it happens. Can't help it. Try to help it or try to solve it, but I got ads and stuff. They want me to pay for this Associated Press publication, not paying for it. So they put ads on it, and sometimes these ads, they kind of slow me down. So here we go. It says right here, almost 2 years after an 8-year-old biracial boy. The thing is here, I want to highlight this because sometimes news publications will say it's a black kid. It was a crime against a black kid, a person of color or something like that. But we have right here evidence. This publication, this news story, this crime that occurred, hate crime, they put right here, biracial boy. So when we see this, we have to highlight that and be like, okay, look, it's not solid across the board. It's kind of a mishmash, here or there. This publication will say black. This other publication will say biracial. But it's on our job, my job in the independent mulatto media space, to highlight this. So an 8-year-old biracial boy was nearly hanged in New Hampshire. The state attorney general's office concluded Wednesday there was enough evidence to show the episode was racially motivated. Again, this happened 2017. So again, it's kind of older news. You can see the date here, but I think it's still important that I bring this to your attention. You're made aware of it. The report said the 8-year-old put a tree swing rope around his neck in August 2017, copying the actions of a 13-year-old boy and another teen who had jumped from the table and landed uninjured. When the youngest boy tried it, the 13-year-old pushed his legs, causing him to fall. The report said the boy hung by his neck, and then the rope either slid off or he untied it. Still, the rope caused significant abrasions and contusions, but the report found there was not enough evidence to charge a 13-year-old with a hate crime or a civil rights violation. Scott Nealon, cousin of the 8-year-old's mother, said Wednesday on Facebook that the family wouldn't commit a comment on the findings and was trying to move on with their lives. Crazy. When it was first reported, the 8-year-old's family called what happened a hate crime, and allegations surfaced that several teens had taunted the boy with racial slurs before the 13-year-old pushed him. The parents of one of the teens called it a terrible accident. Images of the boy's rope-burned neck were shared widely on social media, and prosecutors investigated the case as a potential hate crime. Images sparked outrage across the country and prompted a closer look at racism in the mostly white city of Claremont. That's what, New Hampshire, I believe. But they're acknowledging that's a biracial boy, biracial kid, right? Residents gathered and offered their support to the family. The school district examined how to respond to bullying better, and a community group was formed to promote equality. A community group was formed. Damn. I think we need that energy over here, to be real with you. We need to form these community groups around these parts and start being proactive. Wednesday's report acknowledged a 13-year-old shoved a younger boy earlier in the day, and that some of the older children had directed racial language at the boy and his sister. His sister was there. That's crazy. No, they want me to pay for this? No. Okay, but it did not find clear and convincing evidence that a hate crime took place. When interviewed by investigators, the 13-year-old said he had only wanted to scare the 8-year-old. The teen later pled guilty to a misdemeanor simple assault offense, and his case was referred to family court. The incident itself obviously made people pay attention to things that are going on, and I'm all for that. The town's police chief, Mark Chase, who also is the acting town manager. The police chief is the manager, Mark Chase. Interesting. Asked about the findings, Chase said the report speaks for itself, but he said it also showed that investigators did their job to quote unquote get the truth. Something did happen. A little boy was injured, Chase said. We hope we took the proper steps so it doesn't happen again. I think that's basically it. Yeah. Again, it's kind of an older story, news story, but I did want to kind of highlight that. That's what I got so far today. We got we're about 51 minutes into this. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you guys, your support. Those of you in the chat, make sure you guys hit the like button, share the stream if you find this information, this content useful. At this time, I am going to drop the link if you guys want to jump up here and provide some thoughts, insights, etc., or you just want to chat for a minute. I got some time right now, so I'm going to drop the link here. You guys can join the panel, and yeah, we can chop it up. What's up? What's going on?
What's up with it, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate the work you're doing. Definitely with your title, activist, you're definitely more politically astute than I am. And I appreciate your insight in these kind of political endeavors, so to speak.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, you know, I was directly inspired by you, so I got to give credit where credit is due. I've been trying to do the kind of longer format stuff because I feel like with some of that longer format stuff, it stimulates a process of thought. You know what I mean? Like it gets people really thinking when you give them the hour long kind of monologues, hour and a half long monologues. They can really kind of stew on it more. You know what I mean? That's why I like your live streams. Like your live streams were like the blueprint for me, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's interesting. Everyone has a different approach, right? I mean, I think short form content works really well. Someone who I really admire within the mulatto space, particularly over on TikTok, he does mostly short form content, but he's so articulate and so polished with his message. Like I really like his delivery because like I'm kind of a a-hole. I'm assertive. I ruffle feathers a lot. There's a lot of mulattoes who become kind of disgruntled fans, you know, like they used to rock with me at one time, but I might have said something they didn't like. And they're like, I don't like that bald guy anymore. It's like, damn, I tried my best to bring you guys together, but there's a dude who's super polished and I really like his articulation with these points, you know? So everyone has their different approach. I like the long form content.
Are you talking about Black and Brown Community?
No. I don't know who that is.
Okay. Oh, okay. I might be mistaken. That's somebody else. Okay.
No, I don't know who that is. Someone else. No, I'm saying like there's a gentleman in the TikTok space who's like super articulate and polished kind of with his message and delivery to where like I'm actually trying to kind of be more of like that, you know, because I'm very unfiltered. I'm very unfiltered. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, so like we need to be kind of open to different methods and experiment with different things. You know what I mean? Like, I think that there's actually a lot of value in the way that you do it. You're kind of unapologetic about it. You're direct, you're blunt, you're aggressive, you're assertive, you're forceful. You know what I mean? You got to kind of like, you have a way of delivering the information with certainty. You know what I mean? And I think that that kind of unapologeticness is actually needed right now. It's vital. So I think that like within the space, we'll have like different people who excel at different things. You know, you'll have people who have a more finesse approach. You'll have people who have a more assertive approach. This is why, like, we're not going to talk about them specifically. We don't have to say their names. But when I go in different spaces and you're brought up, I defend you off the strength that you have the most subscribers in the mulatto space, to my knowledge. I don't know if we consider Angry Biracial to be a part of this. I don't know what
Well,
he's doing anymore.
and it's not
So,
even the subscriber count. We can scratch that out
and the
because,
views.
well, yeah, the views. The thing is, like, because even there's methods, like if you post a lot of YouTube shorts, for whatever reason, like your subscriber count is going to go up. They're going to give you a lot of subscribers just by doing that short form content, because there's people who will subscribe just to watch the shorts. But it's not even that. It's just the personnel, the people you network with, who I ask these people, where'd you find me at? Oh, they did a YouTube search. They searched me. They found me on YouTube or Google, whatever. Like, it's the type of personnel you meet who were introduced to this whole mulatto discussion. Ask them, who did they first hear? They heard of me. They are the mulatto. Who's this bald guy who's like assertive, kind of angry at times, like talking shit? Like, there's a lot of people who resonate with my content. So to me, it's the numbers is just because I've made a post. You're a Patreon member. I appreciate you, your support. Like,
Of course.
I saw a comment from someone who put a comment, I think it was on my recent community post on YouTube with J. Cole, where it's like the guy was saying that there's a lot of people who are watching our shit, our videos and stuff, but YouTube purposely suppresses the number of views purposely because they don't want the public to know that our information, our videos have that much reach. So we
No
think
shit.
it's real. They can give you subscribers, they can give you views, and they can also take that away. Like, they can manipulate the algorithm like that. And that's the thing. Like, there's people who know about our spaces. They know that we're having these conversations at a grassroots level. Like, you have a J. Cole, like out of nowhere, he's talking about, they're going to all respect the mulatto. Like, that doesn't happen by accident. That these people are watching what we're doing, or one of his members of his team or something like that. But the guy, you saw the post I put, and the guy was basically saying, yeah, that there's people who work within AI and these algorithms within these like social media machines who purposely suppress our content. It's a real thing, bro.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Like the other day, I was outside in my backyard and I was gonna record a video where I was actually on camera and I was gonna talk about kind of like game planning, strategizing for the future of the movement. And I was just thinking to myself, it's like, we have to master the ground game. And I think that you've gotten really good with the ground game. And by ground game, I mean just like the posting, the clips, the live streams, the information, the way it's all packaged and presented, the community posts, because we're not going to have, and this is kind of one of the things I've had to accept. It's like, we're not going to get institutional support. Like, that's just not going to happen, not anytime soon. So that might take a while. We know that the liberal media is not really going to be on our side. We know that, the Asian community, Hispanic community, Black community, white community, they're not going to stick up and kind of come to bat for us. You know what I mean? So it's going to require us kind of having a passion for biracials, for mulattoes, to lay the foundation for this. And like you were saying, like the kind of attempt to suppress us, like it's gonna happen, you know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be an attempt from these people who work in tech and AI to kind of like suppress us in the algorithm. Why is the interesting question? Because I was thinking there's kind of two different ways of looking at this if you're an Anglo. And the first way of looking at it is, well, either A, we don't want the mulattoes to rise up because then they'll challenge us and they'll be like a separate class that kind of has more adjacency to like institutional power and stuff. So we don't want that mulatto consciousness to rise because they'll be a threat to power. So we'll just lump them in with like the black community. Or the second way they could look at it is if they really want to keep the black community down, they could make us a separate, distinct class and then bring us kind of on board. So I don't know exactly what the strategy is there.
Yeah, it's speculation, right? The thing is, though, what you mentioned, that I don't think most American mulattoes are going to be on board with being appointed like an upper class above black people. In America, I think because of the history in this nation with the one drop rule and like just the slavery and all this stuff, I think most mulattoes, and this has historically been the case with the Brown Fellowship Society, Mulatto Bend community, other Creole communities, mulattoes, we just want to exist and have our own safe spaces. I don't feel like most mulattoes are going to sign up, to be like above black people, right? What it is what black people in America fear is that when we're our own group, we're in our own spaces, we commingle with each other naturally, like we will outperform them and exceed them. And they fear that. That's why they want to hoodwink you and say, you're just light skinned, you're just like us. Because when you look at the mulatto achievements, the inventors, the mulatto politicians, the mulatto religious leaders, the mulatto athletes, everything across the board, you look at them and what they're doing, and then compare it to like the black community. It's like, okay, there is a discrepancy there. And they don't want you to recognize that. It's a performance-based argument. I personally don't believe mulattoes are going to sign up and with the Anglos and just be above black people. We're not interested. We just want our own spaces where we can exist and be amongst our own. And it's going to happen regardless of little old me. I'm nobody special. I'm just a dude with a nasty attitude, some balls, and an internet connection. I'm just sharing this information with the public because I already know. I see you guys. You guys are the best looking people. You're the smartest people. The hardest working people are mulattoes. I see you guys everywhere out in society. When I log off this internet shit, like we're good people and we're going to excel and exceed. We just have a heart for that. And I'm just saying that. But yeah, I want to share a clip. I guess I can bring up gentleman here. Shout out to you. I see big, Raj wants to hop on the panel, but it says your device is not connected. So I think you kind of log out and log back in and fix your device issue, because I want to bring you on the panel, but it's not allowing me because your device. Go ahead, bro.
I was just going to say two things to piggyback off that before watching the clip. The first thing I was going to say was, yeah, that's what I was thinking about yesterday while I was in the yard. It's like, I don't think like competing or like colliding with like the black community for political power is actually the right way of going about it. I think that could actually backfire pretty badly. So I don't think we should really do that. I agree with you. Our real mission, this is what I was thinking about. It's like all we have to do in this space as mulattoes is spread the information, spread the consciousness, and present a third option, like you said, the third position. Present an alternative option to kind of assimilating into whiteness or assimilating into blackness. We can say, hey, we're mulattoes, we're all mixed here. We're going to go to bat for you. We'll network with you. If you rock with us, we'll rock with you. And we can kind of, stay out of the kind of like Anglo-Bantu war, because that's not really our fight. Let them duke it out. And like, we don't need to get dragged into that. That's the first thing I was going to say. That to me seems like the smarter long-term strategy, and especially short-term strategy. I just present an alternative third option for other mulattoes and other mixed race people. And then the other thing I was going to say about the success thing is like, you're absolutely correct. Like we are successful. Like it's undeniable. Like I don't know if you've seen the U.S. national team, bro. There's like 8 biracial people on the team, dude. 8 of them. And if you've seen the English national team, it's the same exact thing.
Yeah, mulattoes.
And,
yeah,
dude. And we're dominating, and they're literally
the men
and
the men and the women.
Yes,
the mulattoes and mulattas are dominating. Yes,
right. So yeah, I just wanted to piggyback and add my 2 cents onto what you were saying. But
No, I agree. I think the thing is like what you said is like pushing this information forward. A lot of mulattoes, you still see that even on TikTok space, the younger mulattoes, Gen Z, etc., where it's like they don't kind of feel like they have an option. They feel like they're stuck in this binary and like they feel like they can fit or be molded better in the black box. So they kind of go towards that route. But they're always kind of, they have this internal struggle because they know they're not black like that, you know? And they don't embrace being mulatto. And that's where the schism comes in. And for guys like me or for you or for others, you know, we try to provide clarity for them. It's okay to be mulatto. Like, you don't have to apologize for your existence. Just be who you are. Like, I want to support you. If you are a mulatto, you have a business, I want to support your mulatto business. I want to promote it. I want to support it. I want to buy from you first. If you're a mulatto and there's some type of tragedy that occurs, like the gentleman, the news article I just shared, like, I'm going to post his GoFundMe link. I am going to support that cause because the man is a hero. He died an honorable death being a hero. It's unfortunate that the boy passed away, but like, I want to support mulattoes. That's my mission here of building this network. I got a couple people on the panel. I'll get to you guys real quick, but first I want to share this clip. It's funny because I'll just give you guys background. I was just watching Game of Thrones like last night after work, after my shift. I went home and I want to just watch something. I was watching some Game of Thrones. This is my favorite miniseries that was on HBO, I believe, Game of Thrones. One of my favorite scenes in the whole franchise miniseries, I'm going to play for you guys right here. But it's congruent because the whole topic here is that, no true king appoints himself as a king. Kings don't walk out here and say they're a king or I'm a leader. The public decides who the leader is, who has the authority. This is very interesting. I want to play this, and I do want to get your guys' kind of opinion on this clip here. This is congruent with this discussion, so let's check it out.
Speak to me more softly then. Monsters are dangerous, and just now kings are dying like flies.
I could have your tongue out.
And just for reference, right, you guys, if you're familiar with the series, the boy is a young boy, Joffrey. He's part of the Lannister family clan, and he was made king, but he's like a young boy, right? I don't know how old he was in the series. Very young boy, but he was a crazy king and power hungry. But he's going to acclaim himself to be king, and I want you guys to listen closely to the response between the real power pushers behind the scenes.
For saying that. Let him make his threats. He's a bitter little man.
Lord Tyrion should apologize immediately. Unacceptable, disrespectful, and in very bad taste.
I am the king! I will punish you.
Any man who must say, I am the king, is no true king.
That right there, definitely one of my favorite characters in the whole series, Tywin Lannister, who's the grandfather of this guy, Joffrey. And he's counseling him, he's schooling him, he's telling him, no real king, any man who claims himself to be the king is no real king. It's obvious as day. Someone with experience, knowledge, and expertise is letting him know, you don't jump out here and claim yourself to be the king. This is a very weak position to take. But I'm going to replay that again and just tune in.
And in very bad taste.
I am the king! I will punish you.
Any man who must say, I am the king, is no true king. I'll make sure you understand that when I've won your war for you.
He says, I make sure you'll understand that when I won your war for you. I mean, very powerful scene, letting him know who really wields the power.
My father won the real war. He killed Prince Rhaegar. He took the crown while you hid under Castle Rock.
The king is tired. See him to his chambers.
Come along.
Tired.
We have so much to celebrate. A wedding to plan. You must rest.
Grand Maester.
I just wanted to play that because it's funny, like it's congruent because I saw that clip yesterday after work, and then someone tagged me in a video earlier today, and I was like, oh, interesting. Someone's claiming to be the leader. And I thought of that clip was like, no real man who's a leader who has power, authority, jumps out here and pounds his chest like, I'm the leader of this. Like, very, very, very cute that some people.
I think I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, for sure. What are your guys' thoughts on that clip or just anything I've talked about thus this stream? We got Progress and Big Raj in the house, Mulatto Men. Let me know what you guys think about what I've shared so far.
You want to go, Big Raj? Hello? Can you hear me?
I can
I
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Your audio is good. Maybe he's just muted right now. Maybe he's stepped away, but you can go ahead and share if you like.
Okay. Shout out to you three kings up here and the kings and queens in the chat. And I just want to just kind of just choose my words very carefully on this subject because I don't want to misspeak. Because I do think it's kind of critical, and I think my words could probably be used against me. So me personally, I'm just a guy with a vision, and I want my vision to come true. And so I'm going to try to use my creativity to do it. And I think I come at it a little bit different angle than most, and I respect everybody else's angle, how they're coming at it in the community. And I think that, everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses. And maybe what you guys can do, I can't do. And maybe possibly what I can do, maybe you guys can't do, and vice versa for everybody. And but if somebody wants to think that they're the leader, I mean, I don't really have any problems with that. But just because someone thinks something doesn't necessarily mean it to be. But I think that they're entitled to think that, and maybe that's their vision for themselves. And I respect it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. But they can try. And that I don't really see anything wrong with that. And I respect everybody that's out that at least has the courage to come out and speak, especially being mulatto, that we're really the low race on the totem pole. Like really nobody even wants us to have our tribe. So we're pretty courageous just to get out here and speak, and that's respectable. Just as long as somebody's being in good faith and respectable towards everybody. I don't really have an issue with anybody, and even if somebody was being disrespectful, I'm not going to like jump into every dispute. I mean, people got to handle their own kind of got to handle your own candle in such a way, because you notice I call everybody kings and queens because I think that we need that type of upliftment, and it's possible that everybody could be their own individual king and queen, in our tribe, because like I said, everybody has to handle their candle. You have to be the king of your household, the queen of your household, in your family. And, I don't think there's any like one, the king, anywhere. I mean, especially in America, I mean, not even the president is really, because he gets voted out, so there's really no like the king. But there, I call it the kingdom, because I view us as our tribe, because I'm just trying to promote our tribe. I'm not going to call somebody else outside of our tribe a king or a queen, because I just feel like our tribe is needed that upliftment because of our circumstances. And until they start respecting, our tribe as a tribe, then, I'm just going to just keep it that way. But, I'm kind of, I adapt, and I'm like kind of like the Marines, where they kind of like improvise. So if the other tribes in America, they start respecting us, then, maybe I can start showing some respect. But you gotta earn respect. And if you're just disrespecting our tribe, then I'm not gonna necessarily disrespect back, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to respect. So that's just my take on it. I think we're all kings and queens, and you got to handle your candle, and you got to be the man of your house, the woman of your household. And me personally, I just have a vision, and I'm just a guy with a vision and some courage and some heart. And that's how I see it. And I just try to just show respect to all my fellow mulattoes and mulattas and uplift. That's kind of like my thing, is to uplift, and because we need our respect. And that's just basically how I see it.
Yeah, well said. We have to demand respect as well, but we also have to show our worth, essentially. Everyone has to. You can't just ask for the respect. We have to show that we are worthy of it, and also we have to demand it, because people will challenge our worth, right? And that's where we come in and fight for our worth and recognition in society. But everything you're doing is good, man. Just as I said, stay consistent and do not let people discourage you. Just continue to persevere, move forward. I know you're strong in your faith in Christianity, and lead with that. And just be firm, be proud to be mulatto, proud of your family, your heritage, your faith as a Christian, and just stay firm with that. You're going to grow. You're going to grow. You're going to be influential. And the time is now. The time is now for all of you. I see the man on the panel, Big Raj. I appreciate him jumping on a panel. Before I started this live stream, I saw a video short that he made. By the way, guys, subscribe to everyone's channel. You see on the panel, you see Mulatto Activists, you see Progress, Big Raj. You guys like my content, you're subscribed here. Subscribe to all of these men, their channels as well. Big Raj posted a short about him going to Florida to connect with another like mulatto content creator and stuff. And man, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. That's something we all got to do, and I appreciate you putting in the effort and making real physical steps outside of this kind of like YouTube space, But go ahead, Big Raj. Shout out to you.
I was going to say, y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah, your audio is good.
Okay. What was I going to say? The Mulatto Avengers, that's what the short that I was going to post up right afterwards, because what you were saying, Progress, about like how we all got different skills and we all got different like things to bring to the table. That could like kind of like be our like little Voltron or little like Mulatto Avengers type of thing. Because if we all just focus on one thing, everybody just focus on one thing, it's going to take a lot longer to get things done. If we kind of like spread it out, kind of like stretch it out a little bit, I feel like we could get like, we could plant seeds in many different places and have them kind of all grow at the same time. So.
No, I agree with that. Your vision as well. Like there's a dude, who was in the space like a while ago. He kind of dipped out, but now he's kind of back. And he's an engineer. He has a lot of good skill sets. He can tinker with things. He's mechanically inclined. I think he's pretty tech savvy as well. So he has a lot of great, engineering skill sets, and I appreciate the guy. I actually shared a couple of his videos back when he was posting frequently. And it's like he's good in one area, but a lot of us might not be good at like, building rockets or, digging ditches or something like that. Like we have different skill sets we can provide, as you just alluded to. Like we all have a place to play. Like we have different skill sets. I'm not the best speaker. I know a lot of people are pissed off by my delivery. I get that. But there is other people that I admire within this space and conversations where they're more articulate than me. Like they're better speakers than me. And I appreciate them for that. Like everyone has something to offer. And my job, my goal is to connect people together, to bring mulattoes together, to explore our different skill sets, and ultimately to support our businesses. We're all adults here. Like we need to have a network and economy where we can literally support each other. Like you see the lady, the Mixed Lens, who's a yoga teacher. She specializes in health and fitness and wellness. Like you should support that lady and what she has going on. She identifies with us. She supports us. We need to support her, just like Flowers telling Stewart, just like a lot of other people in these spaces. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I found out she was the one who started the mulatto movement, the classification to mulatto in the 2030 census.
Yeah, she's a strong voice. Yeah, no, shout
Yeah.
out to her. I have her petition pinned, I think, to my Instagram page, and I share her. I did a few videos on her petition. Of course, I signed it. I share it. She has one petition. Also, Renata Mulata, another Mulata, has a petition. Also, Flowers Telling Stewart, who you're familiar with, she has a petition as well. I just recently posted it. Ben signed it a minute ago. I think her petition is actually has the most signatures. Not that it's a competition, it's just that the lady has put in a lot of work, networking kind of to push her agenda, mulatto preservation. That's what Flowers Telling Stewart. So there's several petitions. It's the American Mulatta women who are the ones creating these petitions to give us a Mulatto History Month, Mulatto Heritage Month, a Mulatto Day, mulatto classification on the census. It is American Mulatta women who are producing these petitions. So of course I signed them all. Of course I endorse them all, and I basically promote them. These are people who are fighting for you. These particular ladies that I referenced and mentioned, right? Mixed Lens, Renata Mulata, and Flowers Telling Stewart. But there's a host of others who might have not created a petition, but I still support them. Like the ladies who shared this information on the stream, Mulatta American Storm, she shared the first news article with me, and then Unapologetically Biracial and Proud shared the other article. And the other one I shared, a couple other ones, I just had them in archives and stuff. But I will always give credit where credit's due when people are doing something good, men or women, in this space, in this conversation. We need to support people who are doing something good out here. But yeah, go ahead, guys.
I like your 10 10 rules to the code of conduct. I was thinking about making my next long format video on that. I like the code of conduct.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I just wanted to have something in writing. So it's kind of, there's like a blueprint or something, like I said, in writing physically, because people will often reference and ask, well, what's the goal? What are you doing? What do you, okay, here it is. It's right there for you. Do you agree or disagree? If you disagree with what our goals are, well, you clearly don't support us as a people, a tribe, our movement, etc. So there's no real need to kind of like, if it's a monoracial who's like a hater, right? It's like hey, there's no real need to kind of further elaborate if they're against our existence. Like, look at what I have here, the community goals. Establish a strong sense of belonging and tribe, achieve clear racial classification recognition, advance medical research and correct disparities. Who's against that? Strengthen legal representation and protection, increase support for youth development, build real-life mulatto communities, promote ongoing advocacy and mentorship, develop a distinct mulatto culture, take control of the narrative as we're doing now. All of you men are partaking in that, being leaders, taking control of the narrative. Create a space, a safe space, echo chambers and think tanks, prioritize health and wellness. Now, I just made a video earlier today. It's going to publish tomorrow morning. I said it to be published, and I'm going to kind of go over these in detail, a little bit in detail, these mulatto community goals. I've already kind of established these several months back, but I want to bring this to the YouTube space because I had these goals posted on my other platforms, but yeah, I mean, if anyone disagrees with any of these outlined goals that we have, like they're not supporting us, like there's no real reason to do business with them or even consult with them, right? And again, this is a community effort here, community goals. I just put something in print, in writing, so the public is made aware what the whole objective is here, the agenda. I'm just kind of an author, not per se an authority. My goal here is to let the public get involved. If the public wants to add something here, please add something. And of course, I don't really have it chronologically labeled out of as far as importance. And I go into detail into that in my video, that where it's like, well, some people would say prioritize health and wellness is number one. I agree. Some people would say healthcare disparities number one, which I kind of agree as well. So I just have them all laid out, 11 of them, but it's not really in a designated order of importance. I just want to make that clear, but go ahead if you guys want to chime in.
I was going to say, because you've been in here, you've been in the space probably the longest of all of us. So I was going to say, like, a lot of people I'm assuming have come and gone. I've actually, funnily enough, when I'm at work, because right now I do deliveries for Amazon, but I'll be done with this pretty soon, so I can move into leasing consulting. So I was listening to some of your, so when I'm on the road delivering, I listen to your live streams from like 2 years ago, bro. But I was going to ask you, in that time, a lot of people have come and gone. And I was going to say, what are some of like the recurring issues that you see? Why do people leave?
Yes.
What are some of like the issues in the
Yeah.
space that you see over the past 3 years?
It's funny. You asked that question. I thought about this earlier, just kind of in my mind thinking, it's always the men. It's always the men ego tripping. It's always the men jockeying for position. It's
Sound like
always
they
the men.
cheap
It's
pussy.
That's what I
always the
thought.
men. It's always the mulatto men who try to backstab me, who throw me under the bus. They want to clout chase. They want to build their name off of me. It is always the mulatto men who have done
How
me
many
dirty.
times?
It's always the mulatto men. I can count on both of my hands different personnel that I promoted, I supported, I've endorsed, I share their shit, I like their videos, I comment, I stay engaged. It's always capital ALLALWAWYS. It's always the men, always, who
Damn.
want to throw another mulatto man under the bus to kind of get some clout, or they're simp enforcers. They want to suck butt to some fucking baby mama and try to like virtue signal and be a simp to some baby mama. It's always the men who throw the
See,
mulatto man under the bus. Always, bro. I'm gonna be 100% frank and clear, because you've seen I've been doing this content, making videos for this long. I have a whole list of these guys. I'm not going to throw them under the bus on the stream. I could care less. But I'm telling you, man, I've been doing this for a minute. It's always the men. I'm making it perfectly clear right now. It's not the
yeah.
mulatto ladies. There's like one or two, and you should be aware of who they are. Literally, there's only 2 mulatto women who are just, losers and pathetic. They don't even
Because they're
deserve
literally
mention.
everywhere.
And you know who they are. But I'm telling you right now, bro, I've been doing this for a minute. It's always mulatto men who kind of like will basically
Yeah.
stab me in the back, bro.
Because I was gonna
I told
say,
them. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't want to say who, but I was on, and you guys probably don't even know who this is, but I was just going through my timeline earlier, and somebody community posted or said something. They were like, "I'm the best mulatto content creator in the space," and I'm like, "This nigga has 60 subs," and I'm like, "What are you?" And I'm like, "Dog, like." And then somebody in the comments was like, "It's not a competition." I'm like, "Yeah, like, bro, like." That's what I mean. Like, why are we ego tripping? It's like this is bigger than us, and that to me kind of shows the problem, because if
Yeah.
you're coming here to like ego trip and get clout, you're a liability, and long
Yeah.
term you're gonna be counterproductive to what we're doing here, because you're gonna be fighting for a position in this kind of space, or in this kind of movement, if you can even call it that. But you're gonna be like fighting for your own personal gain, as opposed to putting the agenda first. And it's like, if people come in here with that kind of agenda, with that kind of attitude, like that's very self-destructive. Like this should be a team effort. And that's why I think some of those 10 goals that you outlined back on your Patreon are really good, because it's like there needs to be order, there needs to be standards. People need to have like a sense of propriety, a sense of alliance. Like we need to have a sense of alliance here, a sense of togetherness, a sense of team. It can't just be
Brotherhood and
like it's a bunch of
sisterhood.
random mulatto guys trying to like, oh, there's some, mulatto content is getting popular right now. I'm a mulatto. Let me just jump on this and like, get it and start like pushing out all this drama content against all these other people. I'm like, if you're doing that, you're hurting us. Like you're actually hurting us, because this is still a small thing. And if you're trying to get clout or get money off of like attacking us, then you're basically an op at that point. Like you're opposition. Like we're trying to do this for basically biracials and basically mulattoes. Like we're trying to push this thing for the community, for the collective, for the mulattoes out there, the 1.8 whatever 2 million of us that are in this country and across the diaspora. And so it's just like, to make this all about yourself is kind of insane. That was the first thing I was going to say, just in regards to that one guy. I'm like, dude, like like that ego shit is going to be a huge problem if certain people don't get, humble themselves. But the other thing I was going to ask you is, do you have any specific examples? You don't got to say names, but like, do you have an example of this kind of behavior?
Yeah, I'm gonna go into detail on it on my Patreon, so you kind of get that exclusive, since you're a supporter of the content. Because I don't even feel like revisiting it right now at this moment, late at night. I know I got you guys on the panel. I got a live viewership. Shout out to all you guys. But I was thinking about it earlier. I was musing. I was just thinking in my head, like, damn, there's been like 8 dudes who like stabbed me in the back. And I'm like, and I support. See, but I'm still here. I'm not discouraged. I'm like, fuck this. I have nothing to lose. As long as I can make mulattoes proud to say they're mulatto and have some courage out here in society, like I done my job. I've inspired people. Men and women are mulattoes are inspired by me. I've done my job. I have nothing to lose. So like everything is working basically according to plan. This is kind of how it's supposed to roll out. It's the purpose. It's not always going to be, sunshines and roses. Sometimes it's going to be kind of tough to stomp over some hurdles. But
Yeah, I'm like you, Vanguard. You have a vision and you're staying true to your vision. And we know that there's going to be these adversities along the way, right? And I just want to just say in defense of some of those guys out there, these mulattoes that, they're being kind of like, braggadocious. I think that like some of us, just to get our confidence to be able to do public speaking or to put yourself out there, you almost have to go to a narcissistic level. Like I find it fascinating when a mulatto male is able to have some type of balance on the internet of of their ego, like, because I see it's like either you're really depressed or like you've really boosted yourself up to a narcissistic level, and and there's really not like a balance, and but some of us are able to, like, there's always the exception to the rule, there's always the anomaly, and I'm like more like how Vanguard is like I have my vision, and as long as I stick to my vision, people can hate me, people can like me, people can do whatever they want to do, but as long as I stick to my vision and true to who I am, then the chips are going to fall where they may, and then at the end of the day I can say, did I do my best? And if the answer is yes, then I'm happy with myself. And
yeah,
I like. Go ahead, King.
yeah, no, sorry to cut you off. I was gonna say, and you're gonna succeed. Like that's the whole thing. Like I'm succeeding. Like there's a couple people who are haters of mine, right? They've been hating me for years. It's kind of pathetic, but they're gonna act like all of you guys are just manufactured. That this isn't real influence. That, oh, I had to like buy my way to get people to like support my message. Very bizarre. Like there's people who will frame the discussion like that, But if you just stay consistent, man, stay on your course, on your purpose, like the message you're espousing will resonate with people. And for me, like I said, as long as I have a couple mulattoes who rock with my message, I'm good. I'm very confident in what I'm doing. And I just want to finish and say this, that the main issue that I want to express, like I said earlier, with all these dudes stabbing me in the back, is because they suffer from this kind of Black American pathology, this male pathology thinking. They call it the HNIC, which is the head nigga in charge, but we have a mulatto version of that, which is the HMIC. And shout out to the Owl Show in the chat. He coined that. It's the head mulatto in charge. Like that plagues mulattoes because they try to act and think like they're a Black male, and they got a white mama or they got a white daddy, and they want to act like they're a Black guy, and they want to like bust their chest out and act like they're the head mulatto in charge. And that's the main issue I've ran across navigating this space and connecting with people. But go ahead, guys.
I like your this community goals. I haven't seen this, but I was talking more about the code of conduct, but I think I'm going to add this in because I'm not as far as the knowledge of mulatto people and our history as you are. You're like, you've been in it and you've been studying it. Like I don't know how scholarly you are on it, but you're far more scholarly than me on it. And so I respect the fact is that you're at least coming up with something. It's not like it can't improve or be changed, but at least you're putting something on paper to say, hey, look, this is a rough draft or whatever. It doesn't mean that it's set in stone, but at least you're putting something out there that's like, hey, community goals, code of conduct, and then it's as long as it's there, and then it can always be improvised and changed later, kind of like how I think it's the Bill of Rights. It says to form a more perfect union. So it's like they put something on paper, but it's not like they can't change it. It can evolve into something better. So I respect the fact is that at least you having the brain and the courage to put something on paper.
No, precisely. Yeah, thank you for that. That's the whole intent as well. The whole intent is to get this out there, at least have something that's written down so people are not like naive on what the objectives are here. But of course, like this is a community effort. Like I'm gonna drop a video tomorrow on this, and the whole goal is I want your input. I want you guys, what can we modify? What can we include? What and how can we set up the arrangement chronologically from the most important to the least important? Because I don't have it set up that way yet. I'm just putting this out there for all of us to muse on this. But I think we all kind of agree these are kind of some goals and values that we want to adhere to. Control the narrative, develop a distinct mulatto culture, promote ongoing advocacy and mentorship, build communities, increase support for youth development. Like this is all something that we want. That's why we're here, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was gonna say like this is one of the things that happens in all these movements, whether it's
Your audio's muffled. Your audio's muffled a bit.
sorry, can you hear me a bit better now?
I can hear you, but your audio's muffled a bit.
Okay, hold on. Let me move over here. Maybe there's better connection over here. Okay, is it better?
It's the same. It's pretty muffled. I
Okay.
apologize. Yeah.
No, you're good. Let me just swap out my earbuds and then you guys can talk amongst yourselves.
Sure. Big Raj, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's crazy. I'm gonna go from the identity crisis
Man,
of
your audio's
mulattos.
muffled also.
Oh,
That's
mine
weird.
is too. It's the connection.
I don't know if it's my connection or what, but yeah,
I
your
think
audio
it's
is
my connection, bro. I don't think it's yours. I think it's mine.
progress. Do you want to speak for a bit?
Oh, sure. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a long format video on these community goals and the code of conduct. And I think I'm just going to go over that and kind of just talk about what I'm talking about now about I think these are good things that, we should implement. And as we come together more and we evolve, then we can have things to where we can have more of a think tank where we talk rational, like how we are now, like on certain panels where it's like you can't even have a intellectual conversation without it getting derailed with the buffoonery. So we'll eventually evolve, and that's what I want to get to. I want to get to the point to where I can host panels that people don't act like buffoons on the panel, and we can actually have a think tank, and we can have a more balanced structure, and then come up with ways to improve things. But right now it seems like everything's a rough draft, but we need the rough draft, because then we'll have nothing without the rough draft. So we need the rough draft.
Yeah, we need something. We need to start somewhere. And I just want to say, I apologize, guys. It was actually me on my end, the audio. I double checked your guys' audio. Your mics are good. It was actually me. So I had to switch something up with my speaker. I'm sorry, guys.
No,
But
you're
Mulatto,
Am I good now?
yeah, you guys are good. You guys are perfect. It was on me. It was my end. But go ahead.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So I was going to say this is like a common theme with a lot of these different political movements because, like I said, I've been doing politics for like a year. I have a separate channel, and a common recurring theme that you see is like think about the situation between Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar. Like they had a huge falling out. Imagine how much more powerful they'd be if they like stuck together. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things where it's like egos get involved and it really creates problems. Same thing happens in the kind of like white nationalist space. Like somebody gets big, somebody starts to blow up, drama starts to unfold. People start throwing each other under the bus. It's sad because it's like a lot of this shit really shows people's true colors. You know what I mean? And so I think it's like it's one of those things you want to avoid in terms of like the kind of poppy plant syndrome. We kind of want to avoid that for sure here. Like to me, if your ideology is mulatto first, specifically mulatto first, you're on my team. That's how I look at it. We're mulatto first on this side. I don't know if you guys are with that, but that's what I'm on. And I think that that's a good kind of way of like putting our well-being first, like prioritizing our well-being, prioritizing our identity. That's, you know, if we're on the same type of timing, then I think we can work. The other thing I was going to say is there's a clip on Subway Takes, and I think we should watch it real quick so you can kind of listen to it because this is a kind of common theme that I see with a lot of biracials, and I kind of want to address it. So it's just type in Subway Takes biracial, and it should be the first clip that pops up.
What do you think about forgiveness? Don't you think if somebody is willing to apologize, you should forgive them? If they didn't do anything that like violates, like where, it's like severe, but if it's just ego driven and, words, and somebody's like, man, I had a bad day, or, man, you know what? I was thinking something wrong, somebody could come and have an epiphany, that they were wrong about how they were thinking or how they were, how they decided that they were going to go about their actions. Sometimes people legitimately think something is a good idea to say. And I could be a victim to it as well, and come back and say, you know what, I was thinking something and, man, my thinking was wrong. I just thought I was right in the moment. But if they can come and humble themselves and apologize, I think we should forgive.
No, I agree. I 100% wholeheartedly agree. I think that was one of those things I was thinking about with that one video I posted a few days ago where I was like, yeah, pro-black biracials are like the biggest obstacle to mulatto liberation. And I think I said somewhere along the way during that video that it's like, look,
people.
like once they choose that side, like you're on that side. Like don't come try to kick it with us. Don't come try to be cool with us after you were throwing biracials under the bus, for the community. Like you can't come over here and try to kick it. But then I thought to myself, I'm like, well, a lot of people there, those are our wayward kind of brothers and sisters in a sense. They're lost. They're brainwashed or they're just in a different consciousness. And I think that we should offer grace, we should offer forgiveness, we should offer an olive branch. Like I think that that's actually a good quality to have. So I agree with you. I'm big on forgiveness, definitely.
Yeah, I think it takes, a big person to be able to humble themselves to apologize, and then it takes somebody that's been offended, to almost even a bigger person to accept their apology. And as long as it's sincere, we know when it's not sincere. When somebody's just, trying to, be sarcastic about it. But, I'm talking about a real sincere, apology, and they're genuine.
Oh, most definitely, I agree. I was going to say Mulatto Vanguard. Did you find that one clip?
Yeah, I found the clip. I can play it here. I've seen this before, and I'll share it again right now. This is the one you're talking about, Subway biracial?
Yes, that's correct. That's the one.
I'll play it.
As a half black, half white person, I think we all need a break from biracials.
100% disagree.
All of our top biracials right now, top down, are evil. Drake remains a capital P problem. Barack.
So he's saying capital P problem. So he's throwing a biracial man with false allegations under the bus for what? For some little clout? I'm scratching my head like, why are you throwing Drake under the bus and the other guy's laughing? Like, do you have any evidence? Because he could get sued for saying something like that.
Isn't that crazy though? Like, isn't it crazy? Like
they hate themselves, man.
No,
like
literally, bro. Like the first thing I noticed with this guy is like, look at how acquiescent and apologetic he is. Like, just that's the first thing I noticed in this clip. It's like, why so acquiescent? Why so apologetic? Like, because you don't want to bother the sensibilities of like the woke people who are watching this shit on this channel. It's like, this is what I mean. Like if we kind of are always acquiescent to like this kind of far left liberal agenda, it's like we're never going to be able to be ourselves unapologetically. And this guy is a perfect example of that.
Let me continue with the clip here.
Drone Papa Obama.
Drone Papa Obama?
Come on now, the no.
She's saying Drone Papa Obama, saying, oh, Obama committed all these drone strikes. And, you know, so yeah, okay, I get it. We get it because he's biracial. You want to throw him under the bus. But you're the good biracial. You're the special biracial because you call out the anti-black biracial. So you're the good one. It's going to be less like popular for these type of performative biracials moving forward. As these spaces grow, as these conversations that we're having over here continue to get amplified, like these type of little woke performative biracials, they're going to be looking more and more stupid. I'm telling you.
Numbers are there. He took the hope of a generation and used it to spirit bomb the Middle East. I have questions for you, Obama.
And we're only talking about one kind of biracial.
Is that guy Alex Kemp? I think he's biracial. The guy interviewing him.
No,
that's why we're talking colonial.
He's a mulatto though, right? I don't know.
No, the guy interviewing him, his name is Kareem. He's like an Arabic Middle Eastern guy.
Okay, I see.
Colonial classic, original recipe. We've got two things I think we need to work on. One, we whine about not being accepted enough by the black community. In my experience, this is not really a problem if you don't make it weird.
Well, you just look Mexican.
See, it's all the way the performative biracial always presents the argument is that, well, you were being weird. It's because of you. Basically, they're saying you're not being an ass kisser. You're not being a buck dancer. You're not twerking for the black man. So it's on you. You got to be an ass kisser, a bootlicker. Then the black community will quote unquote accept you. I'm just doing my own shit. I'm way past this trying to fit in with other motherfuckers. I'm good, bro.
I'm ethically. This is a great point, though. I have solved my racial insecurity with a mental exercise that grounds me. I call it the race war theory.
Okay.
All right. Say you are a mixed person, black, white. All right. Race war breaks out tomorrow, and I'm talking.
Yeah, I'm done with this. I know you wanted me to share it. I've seen it before. I'm irritated even analyzing it at this moment. This is the same argument always. Well, when the race war happens, when the police pull you over, they finna seize you as black, so you gotta kiss black ass. I'm done with it. But yeah, go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say what's so funny, what stood out to me about that clip is like, it's just he's normalizing and it's insidious and people don't realize it, but and it doesn't matter what kind of tone he's delivering it in or he's trying to be funny. He is normalizing throwing biracials under the bus. And notice how now, as soon as, you know, something is bad, Obama is biracial. Okay, so now Obama's biracial. Obama's biracial when we want to throw him under the bus. Obama's biracial when we want to criticize him for doing something bad. But when Obama does something good, he's a black man. You see the little game there? It's like, These
narrative
they're gonna keep us trapped here forever.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's already the narrative, King. Like he's not normalizing it. It's already been normalized. And I'm numb to it. I'm sure a lot of people are numb to it, but that's a big reason why I'm trying to shift the narrative. That's like I'm trying to be creative and trying to shift the narrative. That's what my goal and mission is try to shift that narrative with being creative, because I don't think we can talk until we're, you know, blue in the face, you know, but the thing about it is that the narrative has already been set, and that's why it's normalized, and that's why people are be able to speak with such confidence to put us down and to say whatever they want negative about us in society, because it's already normalized. It's the propaganda has already been in place, and it started with the one drop rule, and it just kind of just snowballed, and we lost our autonomy, and we're just being washed in society, and we have to change the narrative. That's what we have to do. That's what we have to try to accomplish. That's the number one goal. And to talk about the injustices is good, and what we're doing is good. But I think that we have to do everything we can, and everybody has to do their own little part to try to change the narrative, because it's already set. He hasn't normalized anything. It's already been normalized. He's just popping off with confidence about it because that's what society's been told that it's okay to do. That everybody's like, well, that's what we're supposed to be doing. Everybody's been under the fog of the influence, including us as biracials. We're the abnormal ones that see that it's bizarre, but to society, the normies, that's okay, that's acceptable, that's normal. It's already been normalized, King.
Well, here's the deal, right? Like, this is something I've also been talking about, kind of like the myth of the suffering Negro. It's like that myth is so powerful. It's like
The myth
black
too.
people, yeah, it is. Black people and their suffering is treated like a sacred, it's like a sacred thing. You know what I mean? Like
True.
black suffering is a sacred thing in the United States. It's like it's a part of our religion in this country, and people don't even realize it. Like it is so unconsciously and subconsciously planted in everybody's mind that the moment you say anything about black people, the moment everybody automatically gets uncomfortable, everybody automatically starts getting anxious. They start
Even
thinking
whites.
about even
Even
whites.
whites and
Yeah.
Hispanics, because they have a vested interest in maintaining the social order. They see mulatto men galvanizing for power, and they will challenge us for power. When we want to step up, or one dude puts it, boss up, I notice a lot of Anglos get mighty feisty because they have their subordinate African and mestizos where they want them. They see the mulatto man jockeying for position. They get upset by that. They don't want us advancing. Just want to make that clear.
Yep, it's all the races. They're in on the same narrative that's been normalized, and that's a perfect example of even the Hispanics, because I saw your post on X about them calling out Patrick Mahomes for his kids, and they're whiter than the Spaniards or whatever. But if he was with a black woman, and he would not have talked about those kids, and if they were darker, they would have left it alone. They only feel confident because of the narratives, and all the races they're in on it. It's just not one race. That's just the way it's been normalized here in America. I haven't lived in other countries, but mostly here in America, that's just the way it is. All the races are in on this narrative about what you're talking about. It's just been normalized.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. I mean, I've been fucking basically treated like shit and thrown to the wolves by both blacks and whites in society and everything. And it's kind of like, and I was always told it was like my fault or wasn't good enough, or I'm not, hood or straight or just fucking, raw, I'm a man, raw. Like the fuck, I don't do that type of dumb shit. Like, and then just, yeah, you already said it. You already get it.
Yeah, and only the strong of us are going to be able to have free thinking thought to say, this isn't right, but we're going to still be attacked viciously, and that's like, it really can isolate you, and so that's another good thing that like Vanguard has, like the ability to have a panel where we can discuss this stuff without all no, I'm not, maybe there's another one out there, but I'm unaware, and and able to talk about this stuff where we can discuss it and understand that that there are more of us out there that are free thinkers that can understand what's going on, because we're dealing with zombies. I'm trying to tell you, like, and these people don't even know they're zombies.
No,
But they want to come at us and eat our brain like a real zombies, like they come in hordes.
Yeah.
And we're sitting here trying to fight off zombies. So I know how strong each and every one of you are and is, and that's another reason why I call you kings. And the queens that are in this right now, that can free think and say, what, this is not right. This is bizarre. This is weird. This is not normal behavior, because we're literally dealing with hordes of zombies coming after us to eat our brains, and we're surviving. and maybe not necessarily thriving, but geez, just to survive. I mean, you got to be a king, you got to be a queen, and you're fighting off hordes of zombies. Because it's, I mean, Drake pointed it out, 20v1, but we've been dealing with it our whole lives.
Yeah.
I
Especially like,
mean,
my bad. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, I mean, here's the good thing, and this is kind of the cost for hope. I think that now everybody's kind of starting to wake up to this myth in America, and people are kind of collectively starting to get tired of it. Because let's be very honest about something. Black people and their plight has been at the forefront of the national conversation in America since like what, the 1960s, 1970s. And we're
Yeah.
still having these conversations as if nothing has changed in 60 years. And it's like, I have outlined this multiple times. Black people have HBCUs, they have their own scholarships, they have their own civil rights unions, they have the NAACP, the SPLC. There's Black only fraternities. Black culture is like one of the biggest exports in this country. Black artists, entertainers commodify it and profit from it. You have Black people on city councils, Black people in positions of political power as
But you
mayors,
gotta
in
still
the
make sure you
Senate.
give your altering to
Yeah, like
the altar of Black suffering.
that's what I'm saying. But they have like Black people have so much political influence, social influence, and cultural power in the United
Hmm.
States. And we're even at a point now where we have the affirmative action stuff, we have the DEI stuff. Like what people are beginning to realize, like this attempt to like demoralize the country and weaponize this myth, it's being done with the goal of basically getting people to artificially elevate their status. It's like we've given you the materials, we've given you the resources, we've given you the money, and now you need to build it. They're the only people who are like, we need you to give us the money, give us the materials, give us the resources, and we want you to build it for us. It's like, well, hold on. That's not how that works. Everybody else, when they get the materials, resources, and money, they have to go build it themselves. Asians start businesses, Hispanics start businesses, Indians start businesses. Y'all people need to do the same thing. And so what's
They
happening is like,
they crowdfund those groups like Koreans, but I know I sorry to cut you off, bro. I want to
no, you're
say this
good.
though. It's important though. I want to say this real quick. I know a Korean man is a good man. I respect him, but he literally told me he got his business popping because he applied for a minority business loan. But it's true what you said. They do a lot of crowdfunding efforts. East Indians and Koreans and Asians, etc. Make no mistake, they can apply for these business loans and get access to grants and loans. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say like the well of Black suffering and that myth, it's like eventually it's gonna run dry. Eventually people are gonna get tired of it.
They
And I
already
think
are
that
though, huh? The fatigue,
yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah, it's through the roof.
Yeah.
And I think that this is obviously, I mean, this has just been cemented, especially just in the past few years with BLM, the Black Looters movement, the
That's
Carmelo Anthony situation. It's like the Trayvon Martin stuff, the Michael Brown stuff. If you go back, and I know this is not totally relevant, but just to make a point, if you go back and read the DOJ report on the Michael Brown case, Michael Brown was half his body was in the cop's SUV. He was trying to grab the cop's gun and then he got deleted. It wasn't like
Yeah,
the cop just deleted him for no reason. So
yeah,
people see stuff like that. And it's like, sorry.
yeah, no, I think I remember you referenced that or mentioned that on your video or my panel or something. Yeah, no, I understand there's like that take of what occurred for sure. But what I wanted to point out as well, what's interesting is this whole Carmelo thing is very weird and bizarre. Like I've seen Black people on social media, they'll have their profile picture of this young boy who stabbed the other boy on the high school campus. It was very bizarre, like this celebratory type of like activism, where how the hell are you celebrating
Bro,
this
that's
Black
psychopathic
kid?
behavior.
It's psychopathic and evil, bro. And they changed their profile picture to have the face of Carmelo Anthony. I remember they did that a while back with the LA sheriff guy. I think Christopher Dorner is his name. They changed their profile picture with Christopher Dorner, or the other guy that was out there in Dallas, Texas, who shot some cops. His name was like Micah Xavier Johnson. You'd have black people that would like change their profile picture to his picture. Like, these people are not your friends, bro. If you're a mulatto man, these black supremacists, black extremists, they're all over the damn place. They're not your friend. You're a mulatto man. You better start to wake up and smell the coffee. But I am going to end this pretty soon, guys. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. So I'm going to let you guys kind of get your last final thoughts, if you will. I'll hop up back on here pretty soon, have another live stream talking about something that's pertinent to all of you men. I'll be back up here soon, but I got to wake up early, go to work and stuff. So I'm going to kind of finish it now. But you guys get your final thoughts. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll say one last thing. I was just gonna say, just to end off with the last thing I was saying, is like, to your point, I was watching your Victim Olympics live stream yesterday, where you were reacting to that Piers Morgan interview with that one English lady. I don't know if you remember that, but I was listening to that while I was at work yesterday, and it kind of jogged my mind. And I'm like, people are beginning to realize that this is a scheme. You know what I mean? Like, this whole thing is a scheme, and they will milk as much out of it as they possibly can. That's why it's like, if you give people an inch, they'll take a mile. And it's like, people are beginning to realize that they are going to be a permanent opposition class. Like, kneeling for the national anthem, really? Like, not like kneeling for the national anthem, nigga. I'm standing for the national anthem, and I'm singing the national anthem because I love this country. And people are beginning to realize that it's going to be like this forever. It's like, dude, it's been 60 years. We're still kneeling for the national anthem. It's like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? So people are beginning to realize that this demoralization campaign against the country, it is a political weapon. It is a blunt instrument used to basically attack everybody in the country, to guilt them into basically handing shit over to them. And people are waking up to it. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, wise words. I appreciate your input as always. You're very articulate on these matters, and I respect and appreciate your perspective. So please keep doing what you're doing. I'm listening and I approve. I like what I'm hearing. Thank you for hopping on the panel.
Most definitely. I'll be back up the next live.
Yeah, man, I'll check you out next time. Peace out, bro. Progress, you want to add some final thoughts? Go ahead. Floor is yours.
I like America. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm in love with America, because I'm not gonna allow America to dictate the narrative to me. I can't speak for anybody else in the mulatto community, but I can just speak for myself, when I'm not going to let anybody, I don't care what superpower of the whole world, no one's going to dictate to me, how to identify and who I am as a person, and what you can and can't do to me. So, I mean, I think America does have its pros and cons. I don't hate America, but I'm not in love with America. If I go to the game or whatever, I'll stand for the anthem or whatever. I'm not going to, try to like make a scene or anything, but but I mean, I like I said like I said earlier, in like the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, it says to form a more perfect union. If America is, gonna wake up to the fact is that we're knocking on the door saying, hey, look, we want our equal rights as mulattoes. We want us to respect our identity. And if America does that, then I could, hey, I could lean towards the loving side of America. Right now I'm just kind of like, I'm trying to wait to see what America's going to do, because I think that they see that there's at least enough of us out there that's like knocking on the door here. Like, come on, we can see what you're doing. We can see the effery that's going on. Like, so I'm kind of just waiting on that on America thing. And then just, let's touch on our community for a little bit. I just really think that it's important to understand that we are even the ones that know we're mulatto and being and we're being attacked viciously, like I said before, like by like zombies coming to eat our brains. And then you see like some of us that are even like, that's why we could easily have a bad day. So like, don't take it too personal if somebody, even like does something to you, like, I could fall victim to it too, but I'm trying to be like water, off a duck's back to say, okay, well, maybe that person just had a bad day. Let's sleep on it. Let's see if they feel the same way the next day or maybe even the next week. Give them some grace, and then if the person's just like completely just, being, just hating you for no reason, you're like, hey, I mean, I think we should go to the code of conduct and like talk to the person privately and stuff, but I think that we should we need to understand, like, one of the next steps is to understand that we're capable of having a bad day, or maybe like have a crash out moment, because we're under so much intense stress and pressure, from everybody else, and we might take things the wrong way, and then that person takes it the wrong way, and then we're in this clash with one another and we can't get along. And I think it's going to be important for us to move forward to get along with one another. We were our brothers and sisters. This is our tribe. We don't have anybody else. So we have to be a little bit more giving of grace and a little bit more forgiving, and trying to, maybe not take everything somebody does so personal, and just understand that, they're going through the same thing you're going through. So it's not like any of us are dealing with anything that any of us aren't dealing with, and just keep that in mind. Like, we're dealing with the same stuff. And I know, like I said before, some of us get to that narcissistic level because that's how we survive. That's how we can wake up in the morning. That's how we can get our thing done. So you got to understand that somebody that knows their mulatto could have a big, like a big high chance level of, having a narcissistic trait, because it's like that's how you have to be just to deal with the world. You have to have that supreme level of confidence. But then sometimes when you put yourself in that high of state of mind, it's like you can get corrupted by it and you can get lost in it. So we have to give each other some grace on this, and and understand that we do need that affirmation sometimes of, being validated. That's why I like to call, my brothers and sisters kings and queens. I want to validate you, and I want to uplift you, and I want you to feel good, and because I know that that's how we're going to be able to come together and make the changes that we need for each other, so we can take the pressure off of the next generation, at least if it doesn't get off us, because we're the ones that are we're the guardians of these kids right now. And maybe, the current generation, maybe they did the best they could. They didn't have the internet or all these tools and to learn and stuff, about things, and so they were in a more difficult situation than us. So we got to give the older generation some grace too, and understand that, they probably did a lot more than what we even know to get us to the point.
Yeah, the mulatto flag, etc. Yeah, wise words, man. I appreciate your input. Wise words. Thank you so much.
All right, God bless you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.
You too. Peace out. Yeah, man. Wise words. I wanted to share this quote right here. It's from John F. Kennedy. This is my favorite quote from a president. He says, "Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country." This type of patriotism he has espoused. This is my favorite quote by far by any president ever in the history of this country. People don't understand. These mulatto Americans do not understand. This is your fucking country also. Because you're a minority, so what? The Indians are a minority. The East Indians are a minority. The Jewish people are a minority. A lot of other groups are a minority as well. But yet they can get shit popping. They can, take over a cul-de-sac. They can have a whole business complex and get their businesses popping. What is preventing mulatto Americans? You have a white parent, a black parent, or two mulatto parents. This is your land, your country. What's stopping them from networking? I just don't understand. Like, this is your country too, but they want to act like it's so hard, so difficult, or what, blah, blah, blah. But like, the angle people take is not from a business angle. It's more so like they're upset. Like they can't collaborate or work with other personnel. I feel like I'm trying to understand this. Like, this is our country, you know, like this is ours. Like, we're locked into the system. I make my money here. I invest in the markets here. I'm an investor in this country. Okay, I have history here. I'm a world traveler. I'm gonna be on a plane in a couple weeks. I love to travel. You guys know that. My fucking blue book, my passport stays stamped. I tell all mulattoes, travel the world, network, build your connections, your following around the. We got mulattoes around the world. The man in the panel or the chat, Mulatto Crusader, he's from Austria, you know, close to Germany and Europe. He knows, yeah, we got there's mulatto people I've connected with around the planet. So, like, but the thing is, I'm an American, I'm an American, okay, and like, I just don't understand why people want to relinquish that. Like, you have so much opportunity, like, and people want free shit, or they ask for, what are you going to do for me? This country doesn't honor our mulatto category. Well, you motherfuckers don't advocate and push the mulatto category. You got me, the big old mean bad guy, the racist, advocating for a mulatto category. But most of you motherfuckers don't do that shit. But you see the LGBT, they advocate for their own shit. The Jewish people have lobbies. They network with other Jewish business owners and advocate for shit. What are the mulatto men doing? Complaining about whores. That's it. Where are the mulatto men advocating for our own census recognition? Are they sharing the petitions? Are they emailing the Office of Management and Budget? That's what I want to say. It seems like a lot of people are not pushing for this the way they try to pretend like they are, because they can complain all they want. How is it that transformers, people who are transsexuals, can get their pronouns respected? I was talking to a mulatto lady earlier today. She's out in the DMV area in DC. We were just chopping it up. And that was one of her main arguments when she messaged me. She wanted to talk about just how it's crazy how these different gender identities are respected in this country. How is that? Well, because they advocate for it, you know? And these mulattoes, they don't fucking advocate for shit. They complain about fucking just like loose strange out here. It's pathetic. Like, where is the real advocacy? Standing up for these mulatto boys, these mulatto girls who are being discriminated against out here. Stand up for them. Fight for them. I do not see enough of that out here. That's why I'm up here. You want to finish off, Big Ray, and close us out? What's up?
Yeah, real quick. I just wanted to say, in terms of America, I don't have no problem with anybody want to stay, and live in America. I think America has great benefits for those who can, reap them. In terms of my ancestry, obviously, the black side came from slaves, and then the white side came from the Irish potato famine and everything. So I feel like I've just been low-key, just out of place, just ancestrally through my lineage is out of place in this country. I would still keep my citizenship, but I definitely want to leave, and like you and Mulatto Mindset are doing, leave and see other countries. I'm thinking about going to Asia like he's doing, trying to just mess with girls out there. But I still want to do what I can and advocate for this community and for this, thinking about, he was talking about White House Correspondence Letter. You were talking about the OMB, the Office of Management, and whatever it was that you said. But
budget, yeah. Office of Management, budget, yeah.
Writing letters to them and stuff like that, just advocating for mulattoes just to be seen or whatever, because I understand
we are seen. I mean, we're the fucking beauty standard of this country. Like, we're the athletes, we're the top models. Zendaya, Patrick Mahomes, Steph Curry. We literally are the face of this country. Like, there's no running away from that. Like, we dominate every field we get into. But what's missing here?
They don't identify as mulatto, though. They just identify as
That's
black.
the issue. That's the issue.
Yeah.
And that's with most mulattoes, right? So how can we kind of change that? Or do we want to change that, or just leave them where they're at and let's do our own thing? Because eventually we're going to need their support. You got J. Cole. You see, he's kind of turning a bit, right? His track, the illest or villest, whatever he says, they all going to respect the mulatto. So the consciousness is kind of brewing. And that's one dude. I get it. But the thing, with the Zendaya, it's not even going to benefit her to identify as biracial. Like, these Hollywood mulattoes, like the other one, Paula Patton or Holly Berry, forget about it.
Yeah.
Like, forget about it. Even like Chase Infinity, whatever. People love to brag about her. Like, forget about it, Like, they're in
Right.
Holly weird. Like, it's LGBT, alternative lifestyle, feminist, Democrat shills, pro-black. You had this mulatta, Adele James, out there in England, very pretty mulatta. I love the
Adele James.
British
Okay, I never
mulattas.
heard of her.
Adele James, she was in a Netflix series or movie of Cleopatra, right?
Oh,
The
okay.
whole the whole premise of the film, it was, I think, produced by Jada Pinkett Smith. The whole premise of it was that, Cleopatra was actually a black queen. She wasn't Egyptian or Greek. She was actually black. So they wanted to do this revisionist history, but they
Right.
used a mulatta. They used a mulatta to be a stooge, kind of to present that kind of
And they still tried to
narrative.
turn her black? That's weird.
So you have people like that, but she identifies as biracial. I feel like in England, a lot of mulattoes you come across, they're proudly biracial,
Right.
unapologetic, and that's a challenge I see even here with in America. The Americans, they're so accustomed to sucking off dark skinned Bantus. I
Yeah.
can make these videos for 4+ years. Like, I don't really see it changing that much,
Nah, probably
to
not.
be honest with you, but I'm very comfortable with what I'm doing. Like, if I can stick up for this mulatto kid who just got deleted by some other 16-year-old, or if I can stand up for these mulattoes, the young people, I'm doing my purpose here. I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to make people identify as mulatto. I could care less who these people are messing with, who their partners are, the relationships. I don't care. I am going to defend mulattoes, defend their honor, and I'm blazing my own path. I'm carving out my own reality out here. And this is how it's going to be for me. And a lot of people, most probably aren't going to fuck with it. It's all good. But I got some who are going to ride with me, who are cool. And that's all that matters to me.
Yeah, it's really just the little tribe that you got at this point. That's kind of like where everybody doing. They kind of just stay in a little small circle. But yeah, I just noticed that like Black American and like Black African cultures are oftentimes very different from every time. I even heard you talk about how you went to Ghana and everything, and the people were so like happy and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, it seems like Black Americans aren't happy because they're still trying to be white.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. Like, it was a complete contrast, man. When I went to Ghana, I recommend every mulatto go to Ghana because you have history there. You're Africans. There's a history
True.
there of mulattoes in the Gold Coast of Africa, right? And
Very true.
yeah, man. And the history is not all that pleasant because there was a lot of mulattoes who were basically bred to kind of be, you know, an overclass or overseer, and that's part of the history. But
Mhm.
also, that what it was for me, it wasn't about the kind of mulatto history there in Ghana. It was just the resilience of the Ashanti people and
Mm.
the Fulani people. And a lot of Ghanaians are so proud to be Black, and they're proud to be African. And for me, that was beautiful to see because
Yeah.
coming from the United States, a lot of Blacks, like you said, they hate themselves, and they're basically admixture. We see these admixture supremacists, where these FBAs, these different identities, where they're saying they're like 5% European, that they're
Right.
mixed race. It's like, your ass ain't
Gotta
mulatto.
blame on
You're
it
not
a little
mixed.
bit.
They don't even like themselves. They're trying to say they're delineating, they're different from Africans when they look mostly like them. It's bizarre.
Right.
And so when I went over there, I saw that like Black people were proud to be Black. They weren't trying to like be white or fuse with white. A lot of them looked up to Black American culture, but a lot of them didn't know the kind of nuances that a lot of the
Right.
Black Americans suffer from self-hate. But it
Mhm.
was an interesting journey and experience. And what the thing was liberating for me was seeing Black people who actually liked being Black in Ghana, which you don't see in the United
Right.
States. Like I said,
Right.
you see a dark-skinned Black guy and he's got a white girl or a Mexican girl as his girlfriend. You know that dark-skinned Black is a punk and a coward and he hates being Black. Period. No
Either
mulatto man should ever respect a dark-skinned Black guy who doesn't have a dark-skinned Black partner. Period. I
yeah.
don't care who they are. Send them to me. Let me see what's up. When I'm out here in public at work or out in public, regardless, when I see a dark-skinned African American male and he has a biracial baby mama partner or a Mexican partner, white, I know that is a weak male that does not command authority and respect. He's fucking weak. He
Yeah.
abandons his whole community He abandons his women, his community, his tribe, his people. He has no self-respect. You as a mulatto man should never respect these dark-skinned males who are not committed to dark-skinned females, period. Tell me I'm lying. I'd love for someone to tell me. But that's all I want to add right there. I'm going to close this out now, and I'll be back up pretty soon, though.
All right, bro. I appreciate the live, man.
Yeah, you too, man. I appreciate you doing what you're doing, man. Salute to you, bro.
All right.
Yeah, salute to you. Salute to everyone who joined the panel. Salute to the audience. Salute to the chat. Salute to the cloud watchers. Salute to the playback gang. Salute to all of you motherfuckers, you know. I'm never going to go anywhere. I'm always going to be here staying on top of all of this fucking shit. You'll never get rid of me. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit the like button and yeah, catch you guys next time. Sayonara.